Through the YearZ is a podcast hosted by me, Landon, about my lifelong journey as a Dragon Ball fan. I'm going to cover Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, the movies even. Anything Dragon Ball related I can get my hands on, you better believe I'm going to be talking about. We'll even have a YouTube channel where we'll feature Let's Plays, collection videos, interviews, even further deep dives, and who knows what else. I've been a fan of Dragon Ball for over 20 years, and so for me, it's really fun to explore that relationship I have with Dragon Ball. My hope is that when you're done listening to this podcast or checking out the YouTube channel, that you too will leave a fan of Dragon Ball for life. For the trailer to be kind of a teaser, not just for the podcast, but for some of the things that we're going to go over on Through the YearZ, and that's YearZ with a Z. So one of those things I thought would be fun to dive into is the legendary Super Saiyan 5. That's right, the Super Saiyan 5. I'm talking white hair, white fur, the weird little rope thing tied around the waist. So depending on when you first discovered Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, any of that, you may or may not be familiar with the legendary Super Saiyan 5 transformation. Now, here's the crazy thing is it's never been canon, but it got pretty close. If you have ever considered Dragon Ball GT to be canon at any point, which it never necessarily was, but people kind of took it because that's the only thing we got post Dragon Ball Z until way down the line, we finally get Dragon Ball Super, which we believe is to be the official canon continuation from Dragon Ball Z. So, like a lot of things, whenever the main series ends, or if it's movies or books, there's speculation on, well, what happens next? The story has to continue, but how does the story continue? In Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT was no different. People immediately started to fantasy book and fantasy write what they thought should happen after the end of Dragon Ball Z. And now at this point, at the end of Dragon Ball GT, that's where Super Saiyan 5 comes about. So just a little bit ago, I said how it was almost kind of canon. Here's what I mean by that. So the existence of this transformation was speculated in Dragon Ball GT by Bulma in reference to her Boltz Wave generator that she hoped would be enough to allow her husband Vegeta to ascend to Super Saiyan 4. After hearing this, Vegeta wondered if such a thing were even possible and noted that with it, he would surpass Goku. Spoiler, if you haven't seen Dragon Ball GT, this is a big part. Not only is Goku Super Saiyan 4, not only is Baby Super Saiyan 4 and all these things, but it's up to Vegeta to become Super Saiyan 4, and a lot of people didn't like this because it seemed like cheating. But just stay with me for a little bit, okay? So, after hearing this, Vegeta wondered if such a thing were possible and noted that with it, he would surpass Goku. This is really important because in the original Japanese version, Bulma states that she believes Vegeta could surpass Super Saiyan 4, not just surpassing Goku, who is also Super Saiyan 4, but surpassing Super Saiyan 4 as a whole, to which Vegeta refers to the possibility of a Super Saiyan 5 by name, while in the dub, Bulma is the one to first mention a possible Super Saiyan 5. So that's just crazy. I mean, Super Saiyan 5 was brought up to Toriyama, and he made no comments about it. you understand, if you know anything about Dragon Ball GT, and we'll dive into this way deeper down the line on the podcast. But if you know anything about Dragon Ball GT, you understand that Toriyama wasn't hands on. He wasn't all for it. He wasn't, an official supporter, if you will. It's kind of interesting how far Dragon Ball GT went without Toriyama driving the boat for that. And so I just thought it was super interesting that not only depending on when you're exposed to it, the very late 90s in the United States or even the early 2000s, these pictures of Super Saiyan 5, we believe it to be Goku, in the weird Dragon Ball AF. That's a whole other thing we'll get to at some point. It's revealed that it's Goku Jr. who is able to finally transform into a Super Saiyan 5. And with that, there's more of a golden scheme, but just the original Super Saiyan 5 artwork, where it almost looks like Broly attire with the wrist wraps and the boots and the pants and kind of like the robe wrapped around the waist with the belt. But what's most noticeable is the Super Saiyan 4 like fur that appears on the torso and the arms, and obviously the addition of a tail now. But it's like a white, or almost like a platinum, or like a really, really bright silver color, depending on the pixelated artwork you might be looking at from this time. Selfishly, it's for me, it was just a cool thing that, whoa, well, if there's a Super Saiyan 5, well, there's got to be a Super Saiyan 6, and there's got to be a Super Saiyan 7. Well, imagine a Super Saiyan 10 times the base level of a Super Saiyan. And obviously, none of these things ever really came true. But it was just a fun thing to be able to Google or to draw or to try and imagine. If you're playing Dragon Ball Z on the playground with your friends, well, maybe one of you finally breaks past Super Saiyan 4 and is able to transform into a Super Saiyan 5 and even beyond that. Now, I think a lot of people got really excited in Dragon Ball Super whenever Goku taps into Ultra Instinct and we see that hair turn to kind of like a platinum silver whitish color, and people are like, oh my gosh, here it is. This is Super Saiyan 5 confirmed in canon. Here we go. Obviously, that's not what it is, but it just makes you wonder, did the fan base and the momentum of Super Saiyan 5 from years and years ago leave an impact? Even maybe not that was on purpose per se, that, hey, we need a transformation like that. Or maybe, was this just kind of a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, a little nod, a little wink ski to the fans about Super Saiyan 5. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this little teaser episode of Through the YearZ, a Dragon Ball podcast. I'm so excited for this show to launch. I'm so excited for you to join me just exploring all things Dragon Ball and why Dragon Ball is so important to me, and why all these years later I'm more obsessed than ever. And I have a pretty strong feeling that's how it's always going to be. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. We'll see you down the road.